So I've been wanting a new truck for like a while now. So yesterday I went up to my dad and I said, hey dad, can you buy me that new F-150 they just got at the dealership? So my dad looks at me and goes, you know what? I'm going to buy you that truck. And I was so surprised, believe me. He says, you want me to buy you this truck? Do me one thing. Go into our backyard and list all the types of trees we have in the yard, all right? And then come back to me. I was like, Dad, let me get this straight. You want me to go into our yard and list all the types of trees that we have, like the oaks and the maples and stuff like that? And he goes, yeah, that's exactly what I want you to do. List all the trees, then come back to me and we'll go to the dealership together and we'll buy you that truck. So I go outside and like an hour later, I finally come back. I have a list of like 30 trees, like maples, oaks, pines, evergreens. And I show it to my dad and he looks over the list. So my dad's checking the list and I'm all excited. And then he goes, you missed one. I go, Dad, what kind of tree did I miss? He goes, you missed the money tree. And I go, the money tree? We don't have a money tree. Then my dad was like, exactly, so don't expect me to buy you a truck. So I work at a post office, and my job is to basically sort through the mail and make sure it goes to the right place. A week ago, when I was sorting through the mail, I found a letter that was addressed to God. So I really can't send this letter anywhere, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to open it to see what's going on. So I opened the letter and it said, Dear God, I'm a 78-year-old widow and I live off a very tight pension. Recently, someone broke into my house and stole $100 from me. This was the only money I had until next month and I invited 2 friends over for an Easter dinner. Please, God, I do not have any relatives to help me and you're my last hope. Love, Susie. So I read the letter to all my coworkers and we all felt really terrible. So we got together $96, we put it into an envelope and we sent it back to the lady. So for the next week, everyone at the post office felt so good about themselves because they did a good deed. And eventually we got a letter back from the lady Susie. So the letter was again addressed to God, and the letter said, Dear God, thank you so much for sending me the money. I told my friends about this wonderful blessing, and we really enjoyed the dinner. Love, Susie. So then I look at the bottom of the letter, and it says, P.S. By the way, there was $4 missing. I have no doubt in my mind it was probably those thieves at the post office. So yesterday, me and my wife were just chilling on the couch, and all of a sudden I get a text message from my neighbor John. So I opened the text message, and it was so disgusting, I wrote it down so I can read it to you guys. This is what it said. Hey, Andreas, it's your neighbor John, and I've been feeling so guilty lately that I haven't been able to sleep, and I think it's time to confess. I've been helping myself to your wife when you're at work, probably more than you do. It's so incredible and so fun, and I haven't been able to contain myself. Sometimes it goes on for hours. I know it's no excuse, but I don't get any at my house. Anyway, I apologize, and it won't happen again. So I read the message to my wife, and I look at her, and I go, you are a disgusting, cheating tramp. I never want to see you again in my life. I want a divorce, and you are nasty, you are grimy, you are disgusting. I don't want to see you again. So right before my wife went to speak, I get another text message from John. So I open the message, it says, shit, I really hate autocorrect. I meant to say Wi-Fi. My Uber driver almost killed me today. So today I ordered an Uber to get from my house to McDonald's, right? And the guy picks me up, and as we're going to McDonald's, I realized that he missed the turn that he was supposed to make. So I tapped him on the shoulder to tell him. So I tap the guy's shoulder, and this guy starts to swerve all over the road. The car spins, he almost hits another car, and we almost crash into a building, and we almost die. So we stop on the side of the road, and this guy turns to me and goes, don't you ever do that again. You scared the shit out of me. So I was like, all right, dude, I apologize. I just wanted to tell you that you missed a turn, and you flipped out. So the Uber driver calms down and goes, man, I'm sorry for yelling at you. I'm sorry for swerving. This is actually my first day as an Uber driver. So I was like, dude, don't worry about it. It happens. But anyway, what did you do for work before Uber? And he goes, for the past 25 years, I've been driving around a funeral van. Today at work, I was trying to call my wife, but for some reason, my phone calls weren't getting through to her. So I used one of my coworkers' phones to dial my house number and call home. So I call home, and a sweet voice answers the phone. It's my daughter. I go, hey, cutie, how you doing? She goes, hey, daddy, what's up? And I go, I'm just at work. What are you and mommy doing? She says, well, I just finished lunch, and mommy's upstairs. I go, cutie, what's mommy doing upstairs? She goes, she's with Uncle Paul. And I go, Uncle Paul? We don't have an Uncle Paul. What do you mean? She's like, yeah, she's with Uncle Paul. They're upstairs in their room. So I'm like, cutie, that doesn't sound right. So what I want you to do is I want you to leave the phone on the kitchen table, go upstairs to your mommy's room and say, hey, daddy just pulled in the driveway, and tell me what happens, all right? Did it, and like a minute later, she comes back and picks up the phone and goes, okay, daddy, I did it. And I go, okay, what happened? She goes, well, mommy came running out of her room naked, and she tripped down the stairs and bumped her head, and now she can't get up.